Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be cleaning, and I feel like this is such a weird intro.
I think it's weird because I feel like you're going to just drop that whole thing.
Probably.
It's going to go good.
Today we are going to go ahead and wash some wood. I'm going to show you how I go about preparing wood for enclosures now. This went a lot better than the last time I did it. So I'm going to grab that wood right there. Got that fresh from across the street, newly chopped down. I'm going to show about how I prepare it. And we'll plug it in, not one of those enclosures, in the baby juvenile enclosure right over there. So that should be fun, and I'll explain kind of my process. So before we begin, why is this important? Now, a lot of people, obviously, when they put things into their enclosures, they want them to be sort of sterile, and you know, especially if you're looking at climbing wood, if you're looking at it from the outdoors, which is where I'm getting mine, that doesn't seem super sterile, and it seems like there could be a lot of things potentially wrong and can cause illnesses to your reptiles. But one thing you got to remember is that these reptiles, they came from the wild. They are a part of nature. They are very hardy. It is a little problematic when they do get ill because they hide it very good, but ultimately you're okay getting stuff from the outdoors. And better yet, you save a lot of money because buying wood online and such, even in bulk, it really packs a punch on the wallet. So that's really why we're doing this, and I wanted to just state that before going into this video further. But if you want to save money, you want to do the method from gathering wood outdoors, this is how I go about it, and I know plenty of other very reputable keepers, breeders who do it the same way with little problem. So it's winter here, and the last time I did this was actually my very first video ever, was during the summertime. So you're going to be getting the winter edition here, and this one's a little bit more than what I typically do. I'm mostly doing it because you can see on this wood we have some lichen, and a lot of people like keeping this, but I personally want to take it off, so I'm going to be doing a little bit more work than I ordinarily would. In the summer edition, what I do is I just sort of spray it down with a hose and leave it out in the sun for a few days, and that really, if there's any unwanted insects on there, which really aren't that big of a deal if you're doing a bioactive setup, they come off during that period. They'll just leave out in the hot sun, and anything troublesome on it is usually good. I do want to just put a disclaimer that there might be some finicky reptiles, especially if you're rehabbing a reptile, you have a reptile with a previous illness, that you might want it to be a little bit more sterile. I'm not saying all reptiles you should do something like this for, but a lot of them, most of them, especially Ackies in this case, are really good with just doing something simple like this and not baking it, not putting bleach on it and stuff like that. So I'll show you what we're gonna do. We'll go ahead, and this is filled with really, really warm water. You just want to keep it warm, and like I said, a little bit more heavy duty than just spraying it down. I'm just gonna use the warm water, scrub this, try to get the lichen off, and then I put it in front of what Olivia calls a heater. Apparently that's what it's called, and that's how it will be dried, right?
It is a heater, John. Like, that is not a word I made up.
That's a word you made up.
Oh my god.
So to quickly demo, I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I'm about to do, but we're going to take this nice maple piece of wood here and scrub it down. So I'll just kind of dip it in there. You can actually just kind of do something like this. I kind of will try to soak some of it, not too much. It's really not important to soak it as much as scrub it down. So I just take one of these things, something a little bit more firm bristled, I guess. Is that how you would call that, Olivia?
Yes.
Firm bristled. So just go like that, and that's a little bit. And I just kind of go back and forth really quick, get the lichen off. And it doesn't really have to be too long, just a quick scrub. I'm probably not going to get all the lichen off, but that's fine. I'm just trying to get some of the bigger pieces for the most part. And you can see this section's already pretty clear. That's just the inside of the wood there. So I just do that for the rest of it. And the rest of it doesn't really look too bad lichen-wise. And that's pretty much the process. And like I said, you can put it in to soak a little bit, and that helps loosen up some of the lichen if you have that on there, or any dirt or whatever you want to wash off. So feel free to do that. But what? That took like a minute, and there you go. We have a freshly scrubbed piece of wood. Ho, ho, ho. It's like Christmas, right, Olivia?
Sure.
So with my wizard wand, Olivia's saying I'm a wizard, I'm gonna go ahead and I like to just kind of set it kind of in front of this heater I have here. I really use this just to heat up the garage a little bit. But this is a perfect alternative to a warm, hot sun. So it'll dry out here, and then once it's dry out or semi-dried out, it really doesn't matter. I'll plug it in the enclosure. This is this guy's favorite spot right here. He's always in this spot. But luckily, I'm gonna have to take him out anyway and put him in here while I set up his enclosure with the wood we just wiped down. So he will be in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and add that climbing wood that we just wiped down into this enclosure. You guys know how I like to do it. I wanted to get a little closer to UVB and just add overall enrichment to it. So go ahead and open this up. Now, while I do this, I do just briefly want to say that I do think not only is this a time saver for you and a money saver for you, instead of doing all those extreme methods for, you know, sanitizing wood or worrying about that, I also think it's actually biologically good for the reptile. Because, you know, if you think about biology when you were in school, they taught you a lot about how experiencing different issues, illnesses, or bacteria, viruses, stuff like that. They talk to you about how experiencing that type of stuff helps you better protect your body. And I think by letting these reptiles interact with these different bacteria, something that you might not see if you super sanitize everything, then you might actually help their immune system and be harming it if you don't do that. And it looks good, guys. I'm measuring just to make sure the UVB isn't too close anywhere. I'm not trying to get within 15 inches. And it looks like I'm hitting that mark pretty good anywhere I can see. Now this one in the back, that should be fine because that's a further distance horizontally. Or, yeah, horizontally, right? Mm-hmm. I guess vertically. It's on a diagonal. That's what it's basically about. So I think I'm good. I'm just going to check right here. But Olivia, I want to get a little closer and then maybe just show off how I designed the enclosure. So I basically really kind of like the simple setup. It's not too high vertically. I'm going to probably knock the UVB down to a 12% so I could go a little bit more vertically. But this is the most I can do right now since, you know, I have to stay 15 inches away from the UVB. I do want to boost this up a little bit higher. This is getting into the low 40s, but I would like to get this, or be able to possibly get this onto 150. So, got to figure that out. Otherwise, though, I think it looks pretty legit. And here we go. Let's put this guy, this girl, we're not sure yet, into their newly renovated enclosure. If this lid wants to come off. Hello, buddy. You're not too big of a fan of me. I know. Whoa, he's freaking out, man. Alright, relax. Relax. Alright, dude. For someone who doesn't like me, you sure rest down there all the time, so I have to come and get you. Think that you're just playing me here. There you go. What do you think? You like it? You're just going to freeze there until I go away, or you're going to dart into a hide. There you go. Anyway, I'm sure he'll love it, or she'll love it. Get very used to it. A lot more coverage too, because this one likes to, you know, not be out in the open too much. Always running around whenever someone enters the reptile room. Still working on that though. I'll probably do a long-term video on the taming progress with this one so you can see beginning to end what it's like to kind of tame down an Ackie monitor, gain some trust with them, and not have them do that freaking out. So we got a newly set up Ackie enclosure, and again we revisited sanitizing your wood. don't do those methods. I really think they're unnecessary. They're potentially extra hazardous. I mean, putting bleach on a piece of wood or something going in your reptiles enclosure. Oh my God, Stephanie, you fell. But it could just be somewhat hazardous, so I wouldn't do it. You can cause a fire with baking it. I don't know. I just find it a lot easier. Stephanie, you're not really staying on my head here. I just find it a lot more simplistic and also beneficial not only to yourself, but your reptiles. You just get some outdoor wood, save the money, scrub it down, spray it down if it's summer, leave it out in the sun for a little bit, or you know, if it's winter, you can put it in front of a heater or something like that. And after a couple days, as long as it looks all good and you didn't get it from a sketchy area, for most reptiles, you could probably just plug it right in there like I did. It's really not that big of a deal for a lot of them, but it's up to you. Ultimately, you want to do what's best for your reptiles, but this is just kind of my viewpoint, so take that as it is. I want to shout out the patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Stephanie S, Darian J, Kat and Rick, Herb M, David T, Angela L, Smooth Cat, Hex, and Ellen M. I really appreciate your support. Man, I'm really remembering a lot of names now, guys, and losing a lot of real estate up here. But again, really appreciate your support. You guys, too, can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. Check the top right for more information. Tier 3, get you on my forehead. If you have a Tegu, hognose snake, blue-tongued skink, check out Reptilinks. You could get $5 off your first purchase of them by using code ProfessorHerp at checkout. There's also a direct link in the description below that automatically applies that code. It's a very nutritionally rich diet for these guys. It's my main diet for my Tegu, Frappuccino. He absolutely loves it. Can't get enough of them. I highly recommend them. Again, code ProfessorHerp at checkout. And that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure to stay tuned, and we'll have another video coming Monday. See you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye, guys.